powerful. I've asked this question to many Holocaust survivors, and including a friend of my father's and then became a friend of mine, Elie Wiesel. And the question I asked was, is it true that when the Jews marched to the gas chambers, they would often be heard singing a song called Anima, I believe with complete faith in the coming of Mashiach. And though he may tarry, he may be delayed, I still believe. Is it true? So he answered, Mr. Wiesel, Elie Wiesel said to me, he wasn't near the barracks were kept at a distance from the gas chambers, even though everyone knew what was happening. But he said very often, however, in the barracks, you would hear in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, in the middle of the night, a prayer, a Shema Yisrael, sometimes a Kaddish, sometimes one song, and sometimes this song of I believe with complete faith. So I said, with all respect, I'm an American boy. I didn't go through anything close to that. But I wonder, and I am asking as a skeptic, so to speak, isn't it sound somewhat absurd that a time, the darkest time in Jewish history, where God literally was completely concealed, allowed his people to be massacred in such a way, an inhumane way, shouldn't the Jews have been justified to be really upset and angry at God? And instead they're singing his praises and saying Kaddish and hallowing his holy name. Doesn't it seem like, it doesn't seem normal? So the response I heard from him and from others, that first of all, it's true, Jews are not always that normal. Okay, but beyond that, the statement was, it wasn't denial. They knew where they were going to their deaths and the most horrible way. It wasn't escapism. It wasn't fantasy. It was actually the most powerful declaration that a Jew can make, a human being can make. And that is that you may take our bodies, but you can't take our souls. You may take our lives, but you can't take our beliefs and our faith. And if it won't be us, it will be our children. And if it won't be our children, it'll be our grandchildren. But we will prevail. Our belief in goodness and our belief in God and our belief in values will not be destroyed because you are killing us. We will prevail. So fast forward. Yes, 1/3 of our people were taken from us. 18 million Jews, 6 million, 1.5 million children, as I mentioned. But despite all the predictions and obituaries written, after 1945, the Jewish people did not die. Many of them were taken. A broken people. If you went by statistics, there were predictions that the Jews would no longer exist by the year 1990. And it made sense. 1/3 of the people were killed, many of them leaders. Entire communities, cities were wiped out. The Jews that remained were broken, refugees, had no home, nobody wanted them. Israel was not yet established as a state. So you make that prediction, but Jews never went by statistics. They went by something that transcends statistics. It's a supernatural and superhuman belief in the very goodness of things. And what happened? Grandchildren and children of the Nazis, Yamach Shemam, change their names. They hide their identities. They don't want anyone to know who their grandfathers are or grandmothers. And the Jews, their children and grandchildren, built communities, both in Europe and the United States, in Israel and all over the world, and are proud. And what do? They would not only do we remember those 6 million, we've built institutions in their names. So this is this better than the answer why it happened? I don't know why it happened, but I know what it resulted in. As the verse says in the book of Exodus, Shmois, Kashayana Esam, as the Jews were afflicted, in direct proportion, they thrived and they flourished.